Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Madisonville Marine. There's no bigger selection of boat brands and models in East Tennessee than the one right there on 411 North in Madisonville. New boats, used boats, pontoon boats, deck boats, fishing boats. Don't have time to drive down? Well, then check it out on madmarine.com, and you'll see all of their featured inventory right now. Bob Hodge, I turn to you very quickly. You got yours at Madison. You got your boat at Madisonville Marine. Happy?
Yeah, oh, tickled to death on the water a lot this summer.
You were on the water yesterday.
I was on the water yesterday. I was on the water Thursday. Should I keep going?
No, that's good. That's good. Madisonville Marine. All right. I went back to find the last three coaches at each SEC school who had lasted 5 full seasons. I had to go back. In some of these cases, you had to go back a long, long way to find 3 that lasted 5 years. But I wanted to see how these coaches did. If I don't put up the names, people will say you forgot this guy or that guy, so I'm going to put up the names and show you. Here are the coaches we're talking about. These are the last 3 at each school who were there at least 5 seasons. Saban, Stallings, there's a misspelling, Stalling, Bryant, Nutt, Ford, Hatfield, Tuberville, Bowden, Dye, Meyer, Spurrier, Pell, Rick, Donengoff, Brooks, Curry, Claiborne. This should be a song.
Nope.
Next page. Miles, Saban again for LSU this time. DiNardo, Mullen, Kroom, Sherrill, Pinkel, Larry Smith, and Bob Stull at Missouri. Freeze, Cutcliffe, Brewer, Spurrier at South Carolina. Holtz, Brad Scott, Fulmer Majors all the way back to Bill Battle. And then the last page, Sumlin, Francione, Royal Crown, Slocum, Johnson, Woodenhofer, spelled Weidenhofer, pronounced Woodenhofer, and Brown. Okay, those are your guys. So how did those guys do in their 5th year?
Wow.
There's your average.
Wow.
Kind of what we've predicted for Tennessee this year. I thought it was interesting. 7-5, 294, 210, and 6 ties.
That's almost as eerie as the eclipse.
That's 30.
Yeah.
That's the last 36 fifth seasons in the SEC.
Well, I know what I'm picking this year.
Now, here's the question though: does that tell you the true direction of a program? And here we see 5 times it didn't. They were better in year. You see, year 5 at Auburn for Tommy Tuberville, he was 8-5. I think you'd have people upset if Tennessee went 8-5 this year. Well, he went 13-0 the next year in year 6. Pat Dye was 8-4 in year 5. Then he went 10-2 in year 6. Dan Mullen only 7-6 in that year 5. He went 10-3 and got all the way to number 1 in the Orange Bowl at Mississippi State in his 6th year. Gary Pinkel 7-6 in his 5th year. Then went on to have 5 more 10-win seasons at Missouri. Steve Spurrier at South Carolina 7-6 in year 5. Then had 3 11-win seasons. It can go the other way too. Urban Meyer was 13-1 national champion in year 5. Actually, he wasn't national champion in year 5. He won it in year 4, I think. He was 13-1. That's the year they lost to Alabama. And then the next year, 8-5 in his year 6, and that was his last year at Florida. Larry Smith at Missouri went 8-4 in his 5th year, and then his next 2 years he went 4-7, 3-8, and got fired. David Cutcliffe. People forget he was 10-3 at Ole Miss in his 5th year, and then went to 4-7 in his year 6. So, in other words, guys, I don't know that even year 5 you can look at it and say, aha, this is the gauge. I'm not trying to defend Butch Jones or say throw him out. I'm saying a lot of people are looking at it, well, by year 5 you have to be here. And as with everything in life, there are different circumstances everywhere. So I don't know that this is a set gauge. Anything surprising that it was 7-5 is the average for a 5th-year coach? I didn't think it would be that bad.
No, but as Chuck said, eerie.
That you're looking at it?
Yes. I mean, and I think it's very telling because there are so many numbers there. I mean, you did so much research, and the numbers don't lie. It's like they say the ball doesn't lie, the numbers don't lie.
I do think that numbers may be weighted down because you saw some coaches there from a different era when people were a little more patient with coaches. I think now, now you go Brad Scott. Some of those names they wouldn't last 5 years these days.
Oh, that's right. I mean, that's like I said. When you go back trying to find the last 3 coaches who had 5 full seasons, at Tennessee, you're talking Bill Battle. Now you had two coaches that lasted a long time. So that skews it, but you certainly haven't had that in Dooley and Kiffin. You go back, Paul Bear Bryant at Alabama is the guy, so you're going back to somebody that was hired in the 50s. So you got to go back a long ways. I think you're right. Some of that is skewed by the way it has changed. The coaching carousel has spun up and sped up these last few years. Any thoughts, Jimmy? Were you surprised it was 7-5?
Yeah, I was surprised at 7-5, and I was trying to think of those that are quote elite programs, if there would be much different record at Alabama, Auburn, and some of those, Georgia. But also, you're talking about the patience of fans. John Majors would have had trouble making it past year 5
Yeah.
Bingo. Yep.
if it were nowadays.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well, we've talked a lot about Vince Dooley at Georgia.
Yeah.
He would have been fired about 3
been
different
gone a
times.
long time before he retired.
His Georgia program was build it up, slight step back, build it up, slight step back, and you just don't get that opportunity in this day and
Yeah.
age, which I think actually hurts you in the long run. You know, this idea, the fact that Johnny Majors might not have made it, probably wouldn't have made it in this day and age. That means you would have lost out on the Sugar Bowl. You would have lost. Philip Fulmer wouldn't have ever been your coach here. 'Cause
Correct.
He probably wouldn't have been here. Probably no Heath Schuler. Probably no Peyton Manning. It's a different world if you don't make it. So it's interesting conversation. Anyway, when we come back, it's our fast finish. We're going to talk about injury numbers and also coaches losing games they shouldn't. Interesting data there. It's not my own, but I'm happy to steal it from someone else, and I'll actually credit them when we come back.